This week's episode is a very intentional detour because we are officially in peaked forced conversation season. You know the one, Christmas lunches, end of year parties, family gatherings where you're seated next to someone who you barely recognise and nodding politely, thinking to yourself, how long do I have to stay in this conversation before it is socially acceptable to fake a bathroom emergency? So today I'm stepping away from personal stories so that we can dive into practical, fun, and immediately useful tips to help you move conversations away from boring small talk and into something that actually feels inspiring and uplifting. No therapy sessions, no trauma dumping, just better conversations. So let's start with why small talk feels so painful. It's not bad, it's just exhausting because it's designed to be safe, predictable, low risk emotionally, which is why it is so boring. It's just, so what do you do? Busy time of the year, huh? Can't complain. Like, it's short, which is fine, but it's only fine for about 30 seconds and then it's mind numbing. After that, it starts to feel like conversational elevator music. Pleasant, forgettable, and you're quietly looking for the stop button. And here's the key element. It's not that the other person is actually boring. It's that the question that you asked didn't give them anywhere interesting to go. And we're all guilty of it. We all do it. So here's something critical that I want to share with you. Better conversations don't come from better stories. They come from better questions. You see, most of us only answer questions at the level at which they're asked. So if you ask a flat question, you get a flat answer. And then both of you just stand there politely wondering how this happened. Whereas if you change the shape of the question, the energy changes along with it. So let's have a look at some of the classic small talk questions that we can shift. Instead of, what do you do? Try, what kind of work takes up most of your time these days? Or what's a habit that you've started that you absolutely love? Or what's something that you would absolutely love to try that you haven't yet? Instead of how was your year, what about, so what surprised you the most this year? Or what was the best experience you had this year? What is the single best memory that you have had from 2025? Or even better, what did this year teach you that you weren't expecting? Can you see how those simple questions are going to open up completely different conversations? Or instead of asking, are you busy? Which is a trap, really, because the only way to answer that is to say, yes, I am, or no, I'm not. Instead, what about, so what's been filling up your days lately in a really good way? They're conversations that surround the same topics, but they lead to way better conversations. All right, so here are some of mine that I love to test out and run with at any kind of luncheons or networking events or end of the year events. So what's one thing that you said yes to this year that turned out better than anything you could have expected? Or what's one thing that you would love to have much more of next year? Or what's a small thing that made a massive difference for you during 2025? Can you see what these questions do? They invite honesty and reflection, and suddenly people are talking like humans instead of like robots in the same mundane patterns. Now, if you are in a conversation that you are already knee deep in and you're already stuck and you find yourself nodding and you're talking and you're both emotionally completely somewhere else, here's a couple of fun pivots to try out. Number one is acknowledge and then redirect. So you go, yeah, it has been a big year. What's been the biggest highlight for you? So you're not taking away from what they've just shared. You're acknowledging it and you're turning. Or then we have the zoom out or the bird's eye view, which is, yes, it has been a big year. Has this year changed how you think or feel about anything? Or we can have the opinion shift. Yes, it has been a big year. What's something that you think people have just overcomplicated that really hasn't needed to be that way? These work because you're acknowledging the conversation you just had, so you're not shutting people down. Instead, you're opening up a brand new direction for your conversation to move in. But the big part that most people actually miss is listening, because meaningful conversations, inspiring conversations, they're not just about asking better questions. It's actually about listening to the answer and not listening while you're also planning your reply, mentally working out what you're going to order on Uber Eats that night, or trying to secretly SMS your friend in a direction or angle that they won't see. It means you're not scanning the room at the same time. You're not wondering if there is more cheese that you can get or more wine anywhere. You're actually super present with them in the moment. And the best way to do this is to listen. Listen for the topics that light them up. Listen for the topics that they totally rush past, because that's a cue. Clearly they don't want to go there. Listen for when their energy changes, because that will show you what inspires them. And then once you've picked up on those positive elements, reflect it back with, that sound like it really mattered to you, or you totally lit up when you mentioned that, because when we feel seen, naturally it's going to lead to much better connections. And this isn't just about surviving Christmas lunches. It's about connection, true true influence, and really creating meaning and significance in every single interaction that you have. Because the people that we remember aren't the ones who are the loudest or the most impressive. They're the ones who make us feel seen, feel heard, feel valued, and then we can relax and be our true selves. And when you're that person for somebody else, people lean in and they open up and they remember you. So here's your challenge over the next couple of weeks. All you need to do is ask one better question. Listen just a little bit deeper and notice how fast the energy shifts. And you don't need to be clever, you don't need to create a great story. All you need is curiosity. And maybe an exit strategy depending on which lunches you go to. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you are celebrating, I hope that your Christmas lunches are full of much better conversations and far fewer awkward escapes and awkward moments. Have an awesome week and catch you next episode.